Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dimitrios Kourtis. I'm one of the co-coordinators in the MSc Psychology conversion course, and I would like to welcome you to this webinar. The webinar consists of a presentation of slides. I will be talking over the slides. It might last about 30 minutes or so. And if you have any questions, please type them in the Q&A section. If the questions concern accommodation, visa, scholarships, or student support issues, you may find all the information in the handout, which is uploaded in the handouts section. So, as I was saying, welcome to our course. The photo you may see on the screen is a photo of our beautiful campus. The psychology building is in the background, and behind that is the William Wallace Monument. And as you can see, it's a beautiful place. The university is, I say, medium-sized university. We have about 14,000 students, more or less, and over 10,000 of them are undergrads and almost 4,000 postgraduate students. The staff members are more than 1,500, and it's a very international university. There are more than 120 nationalities that are represented on campus, and 20% of the students are from overseas. We are a very welcoming university. As you may see here from the International Student Barometer, in 2018 we were rated 4th in Scotland for overall satisfaction. And we take great pride in being first in Scotland for welcoming international students, and first also for campus environment, not just in Scotland, but in the UK. The environment is beautiful. This is not just the result of the survey. I'm pretty sure you won't find the most beautiful campus in the UK. We are just at the middle of Scotland. It's green. We have a lake, or a loch rather, in our campus. Just next to some beautiful hills and the river. In terms of rating, we're also rated 2nd in Scotland, quality lecturers, and 2nd in Scotland and 5th in the UK for sports facilities. The sports facilities are currently under improvement, I would say, because they are already great, but they will become even better. We have a beautiful swimming pool and a gym and hockey fields and football fields, anything you can ask for. And now we'll continue with the video. So you have a virtual tour, which is about 1 minute long, more or less, and please enjoy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. The first half of the video was shot in the campus, and you might have noticed that there is a cinema in the campus. Actually, there is an art center, and we have there's theatre and dance and everything. Of course, there's a pub because we're in the UK, and probably you've seen the accommodation facilities and the gym as well. And you've seen a bit of Stirling, and we'll talk about Stirling now. It's a vibrant city. It's about the population about 45,000, and considering there are 15,000 students, you can understand it's a very student city, and it is oriented towards welcoming students. The accommodation is very affordable, the most affordable city according to Lloyds Bank, 2018. As I said, the student center, you might find cafes, restaurants, clubs, pubs, multiplex cinemas, anything you like, and actually, well, as I said, it's beautiful, so it's really easy to get out and go to the Highlands or anywhere you want for hiking, climbing, rafting, anything. You can find it next to Stirling. It's a very warm place, it's friendly, and there's a very strong community feeling. And it's easy to get around. You can walk from the city center to the campus, which is just outside Stirling, in about 40 minutes, and there are regular buses, or you can cycle. It's a safe place to cycle. So it's very easy to go around, to come to the university or get around the city itself. The living cost obviously depends on you, how much you spend. It's not expensive, as you can see. But as I said, it depends on you. Accommodation, you may find accommodation in the campus, or if you prefer, you can stay in Stirling or in other towns and villages very close to the university, as many members of staff and some of the students do. Our facilities, these are the university facilities. There is a modern new library where you can have access to textbooks, e-books, and journals, and it's open 12 hours per day, but you can, actually the study zone is open 7 days a week, 24 hours, so you can go there anytime you like. And Canvas is a virtual learning environment. You will register to Canvas immediately after you join the course, and then you have access to materials, and you can interact with students and staff, and you will actually have access to materials before the lectures, and you will have the opportunity to listen again to the lectures because everything is uploaded on Canvas. So it's a very student-friendly virtual learning environment, and it's very easy to learn. You don't need to know anything about computers. So some of you, I present, a lot of you will not have a technical background, but this is really, really easy to navigate through. These are some photos from our psychology department. The one on the top left is the kindergarten. We have a developmental psychology group, and their parents who bring the children there from age 1 to 5 or 6. And they have a nice time there. And we also conduct some experiments. As part of the course, you will have to complete a developmental psychology module, and you will do a mini project in the kindergarten. And also on top right, we have the psychology common room. You can have meetings there, but you can also attend talks, and we have international speakers coming twice a month, possibly. And you can expand your knowledge there, and you meet members of staff and other students. And of course, we have many labs for research. There's a photo from the EEG lab, electroencephalography, where we measure brain activity. And there are many other labs or behavioral studies for neuroscience studies, everything. On the bottom right is just a photo of the MSc suite. So this is a room, actually it's more than a room, dedicated just to MSc students. So you can meet there, and you can be separate for the undergraduate students, and you can work and discuss, and also there are lectures there, and research facilities as well. The structure of the course. In the first semester, you have what we call course psychology 1. So you will have 3 modules, and you get information which is really essential in order to become a psychologist. One module is cognition. In that module, you will learn about different processes like perception, object and face recognition, attention, memory, language, judgment, actually other stuff as well, action planning and everything. Individual differences, another module, is what most people think of psychology. It has to do with personality differences, intelligence, genes and culture, and also social psychology, which looks at the social behavior and the social and biological underpinnings. And you can see it's a very broad field. In addition, you will have the analysis methods in psychological research, which is where you learn how to do research. And this is split in 2 semesters. During the first semester, you will do quantitative statistics, and in the second one, qualitative. Qualitative is questionnaires, interviews, this kind of stuff. And This is currently under design, but you will use software to stimulate the whole process. You do not need to know any programming. We will take care of everybody's needs. We are fully aware that there are people who have they have to have deep background in statistics. We have students with a background in, let's say, history, journalism, nursing, and we are fully aware that they need support. And other people who have a technical background and they find it easy. So this module is adjusted to individual needs, and we will make sure that you will all complete this module successfully. In semester 2, I will start with the right part of the screen. We have core psychology 2. It also consists of 2 modules which are essential for psychology. One is brain and behavior. During this module, you'll understand all the biological basis of behavior, and you look at psychological disorders of the nervous system and clinical disorders of behavior. For example, you can think about autism, Parkinson's disease, stroke, and then you learn about the anatomy and the physiology of the brain. Developmental psychology it addresses areas of child development, such as language acquisition, social, emotional, cognitive, and behavioral development. You'll have the opportunity to run mini projects in developmental psychology. You will form groups, and then you will spend time with real children. So you will learn how to do a project following all the ethical guidelines, and see how the research takes place, in a real lab setup. In addition, in semester 2, you have a research placement. This is 4 weeks, and you can do it. Probably you will not do it, 5 days per week, but you will spread it across the semester, or even 2 semesters. And during that, you will undertake a variety of research placements. You can be either a research assistant, or you can shadow in an applied setting, for example, a clinical psychologist, or in a hospital, or in a youth organization, or you can work with volunteer organization. The aim of the placement is not to do research. The aim of the placement is to see how research or work takes place in the real world, I should say. So it's about your own personal development, your experience. And at the end of the placement, you will need to write a reflective piece of work, not about data or what knowledge you acquired, but it's how you developed as a person, what you have learned, how this experience benefited you in becoming a psychologist. Finally, in semester 3, you will have your dissertation, which is a 3-month project, but in reality, you will start earlier with that. And you will get all the support that you need, and you will choose a specialist topic, which of course is part of the expertise of a member of staff who will be your supervisor. And the dissertation is supposed to be, well, it is actually a major piece of graduate level independent research. And during this, you will design and conduct experiments and observation. It's an actual research project, so you have to think about what you want to do, how to do it, all the ethical considerations, and then you will conduct the research and write down your final thesis. These are examples of dissertations, just some of them. I'm not going to read everything, but for example, the first one says a grounded theory of how mental health apps affect help seeking among male students. So this is about mental health. Another one says how alcohol affects peripheral visual attention. So this is more technical in a sense. You need to learn how to evaluate visual attention. Probably you'll use something which is called eye tracking. You will move eye tracking movements. Or the effect of minor stressors on the autonomic and sympathetic nervous system. A bit more neuroscience, so you look at the brain. Or self-awareness influencing humans' emotion and their expression. This can be done with questionnaires, with interviews. So there's a variety of topics, and you will pick your favorite, or maybe 3 or 4 favorites, and you will get assigned one of them. Assessments. Well, there's a variety of assessments. As it says here, there's coursework and examination, teamwork and presentations, exams, and research projects. In the first semester, you will have exams in the modules that you will attend. Standard exams, some of them multiple choice questions, other ones requiring short answers, but you also have to run a small mini project as a group. So you will learn how to work with each other, collaborate and produce group work. You'll also have essays to write. And then in the second semester, there are no exams. It's only coursework. So you have to produce lab reports. You will collect some data for brain and behavior. As I have already mentioned, in the developmental psychology, you will run a mini project with other people, and then you have to produce a report in the form of a poster. So you learn how to make academic posters as well. And also other assignments are research proposals. You have to come up with an idea and present in a way that sounds appealing and reasonable. The research projects the final dissertation is the culmination of the whole course, and it's a rather long piece of work, like 8,000 words or so, and where you report what you have done in your research project. So the benefits of the course, probably you already know that the course is accredited by the British Psychological Society. This is really important, and this means that the course follows very high standards. It's a rather intensive course because in 1 year you'll get all the core psychology knowledge, and if you think about it, undergrads spend about 3 or 4 years, depending on the country, to get at the level that you get in 1 year, and the course is at the master's level, which means that you are assessed at the master's level. And after you complete the course, you get BPS graduate basis for chartered membership, so you can apply to become a BPS member. And I've already mentioned that you have 1 month placement opportunity. You will get practical experience in psychology, and you will learn all the key concepts and core knowledge of psychology, including social psychology, cognition, development, individual differences, biological basis of mind and behavior, all of them within 2 semesters. And you will develop research skills. You have the analysis in research methods module, and then you have to complete mini projects and your final project. So you will have more or less complete knowledge of psychology, what psychology is, what it entails, and you also learn practical skills, but also transferable skills, how to conduct research, how to write essays, how to make posters. These are skills that you can use either in academia or outside academia, in, let's say, the so-called real world. The career paths. Multiple choices. It depends on what you want to do. After you complete the course, you can apply to become a clinical psychologist, which means that you need additional training for that, or forensic psychologist, counseling, sports, market research, psychotherapy, health and well-being. You will have the skills and you will have a master's degree, which will allow you to be successful in whatever you decide to choose. The class profile, usually 25 to 45 students, but that depends on the people that apply, and it could be a bit more, but this year was probably around 45 to 50. And there's a diverse intake of students from all over the world. Well, literally, we have students from, of course, the UK, from the continent, from India, Asia, China, Africa, US, all around the world. You have the chance to interact with people from different cultures and different backgrounds, which I believe makes the course even more exciting. And students are from different age groups. This is true. We have people who just finished their undergrad degree, so 20-something-year-olds, and I don't know how old is the older student, but it's definitely in the mid-50s. And the backgrounds vary a lot. We have people with degrees in history, journalism, nursing, but also mathematics, electronic engineering, and the course accommodates the needs of everybody. So you shouldn't be concerned about your background as long as you want to do psychology and you're determined to work hard. I think this is the course for you. Student support, up to 20 hours per week contact time. Well, this is true, but nobody will say that you cannot have 21. It's as much as you want, as much as you need to. You will have a personal tutor appointed. This means that besides all the academic advisors and supervisors, there will be a member of staff that you can approach if you want more information, if you have a problem. And this person might not be an expert on that, but will guide you. It will talk with you, and it will suggest places, student support where you can get additional information and help if you need to. You will have class representatives, so you can approach members of staff yourselves, but also as a group, and that will be completely anonymous. And also there's extensive support through university services, pastoral, financial, English language if you need to, IT support, careers, everything. And of course, there's induction events in the week one. You will get all the information, but you will get it online and on paper as well. All teaching staff have open door policy, which means that what I said about the 20 hours per week is true. So they're not 20 hours per week, it's just many hours as you need to. And we have committees where students and staff meet and discuss all the issues. And the university provides learning services for our core skills and also the support for English language. Testimonial. This is from a previous student. As you can see, he's not a 20-year-old. We have nothing against 20-year-olds, but he's what we call a mature student. And he decided to do our course as part of a transition to a new career. And I don't think I should read it. It's, if you want to, you're welcome to do so, but you can see I think he's quite happy with our course. He has broadened his knowledge and he felt challenged and the experience was enjoyable. And he had the opportunity to undertake novel experimental research. And actually, I'm familiar with his research. He looked at, from what I remember, the effect of football heading in brain development. Also, maybe I don't want to misrepresent, but it was quite an exciting study. And it was related to the possibility of getting dementia by heading a football. There was a documentary in program in BBC 1 or 2 with Alan Shearer, who came to, the famous footballer, who came to our university and filmed part of it here. It was about research that's conducted here in Stirling, and one of the lead researchers was Magdalena Itzwart, which is the other co-coordinator of this course. And there's another testimonial. Julie Ricky, she's also happy with our course, and yeah, I think I should let you read it. So this is the end of the presentation. If you have any questions, please go ahead, just type them and we will respond to them. So we have the first question. An interested applicant asks what are the chances of pursuing a fully funded PhD program let's say in a topic related to forensic psychology or personality disorders after studying this course. Well, you will be qualified to apply for it, and you'll have a master's degree. So the chances, I would say quite high, but it depends on the program you apply for. The competition between other students. We provide the qualifications, but then it's up to you and to the university that you're interested at. As another question, how many days per week we will be taught? Well, this varies between semesters, and the first semester is 3 to 4, but not full days. There are 3 modules, on 3+1, I would say. So cognition, individual differences, social psychology, and statistics, research methods. And you will have sometimes labs, so you will run some projects. It's 3 to 4 days per week. In the second semester, because you have to do your placement, the lectures will be only 2 days per week, but some weeks you will have to do some lab work. We are well aware that you cannot attend all 5 days per week, and actually what days you might know already. For part-time students, the course will last 2 years, so we try to accommodate the needs of part-time students as well. There's a similar question, can you advise how many hours lecture study will be required? Well, that's difficult to answer. Well, there are not that many hours of lectures, but the study depends on you. If it's a full-time course, if you're doing it full-time, you are expected to spend about 40 hours a week. But it depends on the assignment. Sometimes you don't need to spend that many, sometimes a bit more. It's a master's course. What is the closing day for application to the course, and is there a maximum of students you accept? Well, there's no maximum. As for the closing dates, there's no actual closing date, but if you're an international student, you have to consider you have to apply for a visa, so you have to do it maybe a month in advance. Another question. Does the month research placement usually depend on previous working experience? Not really. It depends on what you want to do. If you think that your previous working experience is relevant, you want to do something similar, you're welcome to do so. But if you want to do something different, it's fine. So there is another question, whether our course carry the same weight in terms of employability. It's a BPS accredited course, so yes, it's like a normal undergraduate course. Because it's only 1 year, it's more intensive than the normal undergraduate course, but you get all the core knowledge that the psychologist needs. So yeah, it is the same. Is it possible to work part-time while comfortably handling the course workload? Well, it is possible. People work part-time. The word comfortably is debatable, of course. It depends on how you handle it. When you have to meet deadlines, I suspect it will not be that comfortable, but definitely it is possible. But the lectures last from the assignments from, let's say, mid-September to end of November, and from mid-January to end of March. So these are the more intensive months. But we have people who follow the course full-time and they also work part-time. So it is possible. How do we find placements and other questions? Well, this is up to you. We provide support and guidance, but then you can either ask for specific advice or just go out and find the placement you want to. And the placement does not have to be in Stirling. You can have a placement in Glasgow or Edinburgh, anywhere. One thing I forgot to mention, we are very central in Scotland, so everything is nearby. Edinburgh and Glasgow is not more than 1 hour away with the train. So some people even live in different cities and commute to Stirling. So when it comes to placement, if you can, let's say, for example, you want to do a placement in a hospital in Glasgow, you can do that. That's no problem. There's another question. Since it is not a regular course but a conversion course, will my degree be recognized as equivalent to someone with a regular MSc psychology course? Yes. Will I get equal academic research opportunities as them? Yes, you will. It's a BPS accredited course. So maybe there's something I haven't said in a very clear way. It is called conversion course, not because it's not a regular course, but because it converts people in a way with a different background, history, engineering, nursing, to psychology. That's the only reason. It is a regular MSc course and it's taught at master standards and it is accredited by BPS, the British Psychological Society. So you will have the same academic and research opportunities as anybody else. Well, there's a question about when will you know that you have been successful in gaining the qualification? Well, actually at the end of the course. I mean, you cannot be certain. You will get your grades within a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks after each assignment. At the end of the first semester, you will know whether you were successful in the first semester modules. At the end of the second semester, you will know whether you are successful in the second semester modules, but then in order to know whether you'll be successful overall, you need to do your master's thesis, your research project. If you want to apply for further study, you can tell them that you're in a course of getting a master's degree, and then you might get a conditional offer that you will be accepted, provided you successfully complete your course. Okay, there's a question that says that for those with non-psychology undergraduate degrees and want to progress into psychology research, is it more appropriate to apply for one of your research method masters, or are these reserved specifically for psychology graduates? Well, actually, if you don't have a non-psychology undergrad degree, you should apply for our conversion course because you will become a psychologist and you will progress in psychology research. I mean, this makes much more sense. Okay, there's a question. When do we get vacation study breaks, if any? Well, Christmas time. And it depends on you, I guess. You need to meet the course requirements. The university will be closed during holidays, Christmas holidays. And then it's up to you. It makes sense to get some holidays after the end of each semester, but it's up to you. What is the application process? Okay. For application, you should go to the website, and there is apply apply now button. So basically, look at the website, look at the page of the MSc conversion course, and then you can see that you get all the information how to apply. What grade do you need to complete a PhD following the course? It depends on the PhD. It depends on what they require. Usually 2-1 is good. Of course, first class even better. But that depends on the PhD program. Well, there is a question I'm not sure how to answer. It says, I currently work as a psychodynamic counselor. Do you see any reason why this may cause any conflict in integrating new psychological theories? Well, the answer is no, actually. I don't see why. No, actually, the opposite. You will get more information, you will increase your knowledge. There's nothing that I can think of that may cause any conflict. And this is not a counseling course. So there's another question. How long does it typically take to hear back from a submitted application? Well, we try to do it as fast as possible. We try to do it within a week, but that depends on the number of applications at a given time. So if it's later in the year, there are a lot of applications, so we need to process them. But we try to be as fast as possible. There's a question about what is the general trend of students with respect to career choices after completing this course. We don't have any data on that. It's up to the students to decide what they want to do. We give them the qualifications, so they have the options to follow whatever they want to. And as far as I'm concerned, even if there is a trend, I mean, it shouldn't concern individual students. You can do whatever you want to. You can be equally successful in applying for a professional job or an academic job. Okay, there are no questions at the moment. Please don't hesitate. We will be with you for at least 10 more minutes. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask. And also, if you think of a question, later, you may always send an email to study@stir.ac.uk. But please go ahead, ask us questions. Yeah. Okay, so there's another question. It says that from interested applicant that is based in, okay, it has a very young family, and that person is unsure about the feasibility of the study and whether I could give an indication of the required time on campus in a standard week. It varies, I would say. During the first semester, you you expect to be here 3 or 4 days a week, not full days. But in the second semester, it's 2 days a week. But all the lectures are recorded, or if they're not recorded, there are slides that are uploaded before the lectures with recorded with the member of staff talking over the slides. So you have pre-recordings, so you can follow the course even if you're not present. We recommend the students to attend the lectures because this is the way they get a full experience, but you do not need to be here every single day. The more demanding times are between October, mid-September, end of November, and from mid-January to end of March. And in terms of attending, semester 1 is more demanding than semester 2. Right. There's another question. How could I find more information on potential research topics available for the thesis? I presume it is based on individual lecturer's area of interest. Well, the short answer is yes. It depends on the areas of interest of expertise of individual lecturers or members of staff. Quite early in the course, you will be provided with a list of topics, usually more than one from each member of staff, and then you will select the four possible topics that you find more appealing. But even those, they're not necessarily something very specific from the very beginning. You might have a meeting with the person that you're interested in doing your work with, your research topic, and then you can work something which is suits you even better. There is a great variety of research topics. If you go to the website and you can go to the staff member space, to each staff member space, you can see we have people interested in developmental psychology, social psychology, neuroscience, face perception, anything, almost everything. You can find almost anything here. There's a question about whether we recommend any books in preparation for attending the course. We don't have specific recommendations. Any textbook which is Introduction to Psychology will do, but that depends on individual needs. So if you feel, for example, that you're not very comfortable with statistics, you can have a look at a book which is about statistics in psychology, not about statisticians. We use statistics in order to do research. We're not learning statistics as, you might learn an undergraduate course from statisticians. It depends on your individual needs, I would say, but any textbook which is about Introduction to Psychology will be good. It's not a requirement, but it might help you. There is a question of whether graduates of this course are eligible to become a member of the relevant professional society in their own country. We don't know at the moment. We will have a look and we will come back to you. We'll send you a mail. Okay, I think we are almost at the end of the webinar. Thank you very much for attending, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send us a mail. We would like to hear back from you. Thank you very much.